Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Forgive me, I still got a little bit of my cough, but today is day 5 of our Periscope challenge. Hello, hello, hello. Good to see everybody. Okay, so we are here for day 5 of prospects to paying clients. And what we're going to talk about today, I'm so excited about. This is how, oh yay, hearts. This is how to deliver the second step of a 2-step call or a multi-step call. This is the follow-up conversation. This is how you go from, excuse me, call number 1, I need to think about it. On day 2, I think I taught you guys all about what to do, how to say. This is that second call. This is the follow-up call. This is where the money happens. Okay, so let me go ahead and walk through everything we've done so far. So day 1, and I've got my notes right here, keeping it fresh. This is how you respond quickly. It's like that immediate response time to leads. Don't sweat it if you can't. The key is to keep it going. Most people, the lead comes in and it's either taken care of once or it goes and it's done. What we want you to do is to keep continuing responding. So lead comes your way, day 1, you immediately respond. If you don't hear back on day 2, you say, hey, I know that you reached out. I really want to talk with you. No response. Day 3, oh, you know what? We really need to talk. Day 4, I know you want to see this happen for you. I'd love to be in touch. And then they go into your follow-up sequence. And if you listened yesterday, you heard how I do like once a week. Oh, that's okay. Everyone can leave if you need to go to meetings. Go have wonderful days. We'll see each other soon. Okay, so one of the things that you can do is if you've got somebody there and they don't like naturally get into a call with you, you want to keep following up with them, I put them into my follow-up sequence, which is every Friday I follow up. What does that look like? Well, here's the thing. Not every single person gets a call back from me every single Friday. Not everybody gets an email, but every Friday, because I like to set it and forget it and keep it simple, I do a run through and I see who are all the people that still needed responses. So, yay, hearts. Okay, so day number 2, we talked about never leave a call without it, and this is the follow-up. This is the magic, and today we're going to talk about the second part. So, if you're on a call, welcome. If you're on a call with somebody and they say, I need to think about it, or I need to talk with my spouse, or any of the things that they say, everybody buys in different ways. So how do you, instead of letting them fly off, I love those hearts, what do? I give them an invitation to have a second call. I give them my special exercise, which we're going to walk through again today. I schedule that follow-up call, and I make sure we reconnect. There's no, I'll call you next week, or we'll check in on Tuesday, or anything. It's a specific set time for follow-up. I'm managing and maintaining the sales container, and I give them something to do in the in-between time that pre-sells them into us working together. That's freaking good stuff. So number 3, day 3, we talked about turning your last 20 yes buts into 20 yeses, or your last 20 no's into 20 yeses. What I mean by this is where you take some time and you review back everyone you've talked to, like in the last month, 3 months, 6 months, even a year, and you reach back out to them. This is that time where you go back to somebody who maybe said, hey, Laura, I'd love to work with you, but not until December, or not until, September, and you talk to them back in May. I'm going to reach back out to them. I'm going to make a plan to go back to them and find out what's going on for them. Here's how I do it. I send them a very personal message that reminds them of what it was that we talked about. And I also give them an irresistible offer. Here's what some of my irresistible offers look like. I might bonus them something in my current packages at my current rates. I may grandfather my rates for them. So let's say we talked and my rates were like $2,000 a month for my one-on-one coaching, and they're currently $2,500. I may give them access to those past rates because we talked in the past. It's good stuff. Set it and forget it was yesterday. Pardon me. It was all about how to make the follow-up super simple, and you don't have to worry about tracking or anything like that. You've got the immediate response for new leads. When you do a lot of outreach, like I love to teach, sometimes you get this wobbly thing where, like right now in my Facebook inbox, I probably have like 300 people, maybe 400 people that I've messaged at some point, or we've messaged together, but we haven't talked on the phone. So every Friday, I scroll through that list and I see who needs a touch, who needs to be reached out to. Maybe it's every Friday, maybe it's once a month, but I keep in touch with those people. I want for them to see that I'm still here, and I want them to know if they need support, I'm here for them at that time. Because here's the thing. We've talked a lot around like, overcoming objections. So when somebody says, I'm not ready right now, well, here's the thing. Sometimes people are not ready. Oh, I love those arts. Sometimes they're just not. They're not ready to do what needs to be done to get what they want. And that's okay. But here's what happens. Most coaches, consultants, brand specialists, bookkeepers, you name it, whatever your magic is, most people in your industry, if someone doesn't go from a hello to a yes, you just let them go. What I do differently, and what I encourage all my clients to do, is to reach back out, to stay in a connection, to stay in container, to show that you're still around, show that you can still support them, check back in and be available when they're ready, and that's set it and forget it. That way, every Friday, I just spend a little bit of time, go through my list, reach back out to people, and keep them in touch. Funny thing, how does that turn into clients? It turns into clients all the time. I have somebody who I was working with about a year ago, and we talked for a little bit, and she'll be joining up to work with me again. So people stay in connection, and when they're ready, if you're available and you're there, they'll say yes. Your role is to be there so that when they say yes, they can. Yay! So today is set it and forget it. No. Okay, I have to apologize. I've got some sort of cold thing going on. I'm not completely with it, but I'm going to give you good stuff. Excuse me. Oh, nice look at hearts. So here's exactly what to say on a follow-up call. Here's what I do. I like to make sure that the person, when we're reconnecting, it's not like a you have to buy experience. This is a let's reconnect. So I'm going to recap what we do in the first thing. So you have your sales conversation. You follow your 5 steps. You connect. You listen and learn to find out what's not working. You vision to make sure that somebody knows what they desire, so you know if you can get them there. You give them the invitation to work together, and then you close. What happens in the middle there? I need like a 6th finger. So sometimes before you get to the close, people need to leave the call and digest. We talked all about the Colby assessment, and I'll put a lot more out there about that. But a lot of people have different ways that they like to learn and like to buy. So we let them go, but we don't let them go without a container. So here's the container. I, first and foremost, let people know it's okay to leave my sales call without buying. The moment I take that barrier away, people relax. Like the shoulders go down. They're like, oh, it's okay. Thank you. I can't believe you said that. Everyone's always like, you have to buy on the first one. No. So I let them know it's okay to leave and go buy later. That's really important. And then I control the container. Sorry, I keep hitting this. It's getting kind of wiggly. By giving them an exercise to do in between our 2 calls. So I described to them the inner guidance check-in, where I asked them to write down what they want, why they want it, how it's going to help them, how it's going to help their family, the world. This is all about their why, their big vision. Yeah, good stuff. Then I asked them to write down how the 2 of us working together can help them get that. That's the brilliance in this tool. Then I asked them to write down any fears, doubts, worries, or concerns they have about reaching that goal, or anything that comes along with it. I asked for them to release these if they can, but to really get in touch with them. And then I asked them to look for a sign of what's next. And here's the thing. When you're looking for signs, you will see them. When people, like my favorite one is my client who, she was looking for a sign for us to work together, was going to a Lenny Kravitz concert, and a bus went by, and it had epic on the words of the bus, and then he gets on stage and he's singing his song about epic something, and it's like flashing lights behind him, epic, epic, epic. So she's like, I came home and knew, I need to call Laura, I need epic at sales. So asking for people to look for those. Now, here's what I do to get before I get on the second call. So they've got their exercise in call number 1, and we're scheduled to have our follow-up call. Now, on our follow-up call, I do something before we even get started. First thing I do is the night before or the morning of the call, depending on which, if the call's in the morning or the afternoon, I send a little message that just says, hey, Sarah, can't wait to talk, can't wait to hear all about your experience doing the exercise. Talk to you soon. And here's what's important about this. If for any reason this person responds back and is like, oh, I didn't do it, well, I don't get on a call with them. I'm not going to, use my time to talk with somebody if they're not serious enough to do the exercise. Because here's the fact. All of the people that I've talked to who've done the exercise, they turn into great clients and they do their work. All of the people who I talked to who did not do their exercise, if they won't follow that example, they're actually not going to get results with me. Because what it means is they weren't willing to do some of the work. It has nothing to do with what I offer or what they do or anything like that. It's just a mere fact of if they won't do this one little exercise I gave them, there's a chance that future calls, they won't do things that I suggest and they won't get results. So if someone says they haven't done the exercise, I say that's okay. Again, it is okay. That was their choice. I say, why don't you take some time to do that, and when you've got it complete and you're ready to reconnect, reach out to me. And I'll tell you something. I don't think I've ever had anybody actually reach out. If they're not going to do the exercise, they're not really ready, they're not going to go and step up to do the work. So it's okay. I let them go. I'm released. It's all good. Now, however, most of the time, I will send that little message and I get the, Laura, I can't wait to talk, I'm in. And I would say about 50% of the time, before we even get to our second call, people are messaging me and saying, I'm in, Laura. I want to work together. I just know it. Because they did the exercise and it helped them know if they should work together. Because that's what it's for. The whole point of the exercise is for them to get to a full yes or a full no. No more in between land. So it's good stuff. Yay! Okay. So what do I say when I get on the call? How do I structure this part of the sales call? Because you got the first 5 steps and then you have your follow-up call. So here's what I do. I re-engage with them. I do the whole connection thing all over. Like, oh, Sarah, I'm so excited we're reconnecting. I feel like a week's gone by and it's only been 2 days. Or, I'm sure you've got lots of exciting stuff that's happened. Let me do a little check-in and ask you, how was your experience doing this exercise? Don't tell me about the exercise. Just tell me how was your experience doing it. And this is another little check-in. Because if for any reason they didn't respond to my initial email, this is where I hear, did you do it or didn't you? If they say they didn't do it, I let the call go. And I say to them, look, I'm really happy that you were honest about this. Can you share why it didn't happen? I might dig a little bit before I release. And then I suggest, well, let's go ahead and let's let you go off. You can go do the exercise or do whatever you need to do. And if it feels like there's something there, reach back out to me and we can reconnect. But I will also say most people do this exercise. It's pretty rare that someone doesn't do it. So I ask them, how was their experience? And then I ask them to walk me through. And here's the important part. So since there are 3, well, kind of 4 parts to the exercise. There's what do you want? How will us working together help you get it? And what are your fears? And then also, what was your sign? The first thing I'll ask them is, so let's go back. I remember you said you wanted XYZ, and I restate what I think was their vision. And I asked them to let me know, was there anything new that came up for them about what they say they want and why they want it? So I asked them to tell me about that first portion. And then I will I will flip between these two. I will either straight away ask them, well, how do you sense us working together will help you get this? Or, pardon me, if I know that they were really caught in their fear, if they were really caught in their worries and their doubts, I'll ask them to tell me let's skip. I want to hear, what were those fears, doubts, and worries that you wrote down? Because they're going to literally tell me exactly what they were worried about so I can directly address that fear. So it's like, imagine if you were on a sales call and someone gives you the objection, but it's kind of like vague and you're not sure and you're trying to hope you're selling them. I'm going to have someone literally tell me exactly what they're worried about, and then I can exactly address that worry. Well, Laura, I'm worried because I've hired 16 coaches and I've never made any money. And I ask them, what's the fear behind that? And I can address it. I can overcome that objection. And then from that space, once we've cleared what their fears are, I then ask them, so tell me, what were you thinking when you thought, well, how could us working together help you get this vision you want? And then they tell me, and then I ask the magic question. I'm actually going to even read it because I usually ask it a little bit different each time. But I say, well, let me do a check-in. How would you like to go forward from here? Super simple. I remind them, I say, if I need to, as you remember, I've got my one-on-one work, I've got my intensive, I've got my sales course. What do you feel like is the fit for you? How would you like to move forward? And then they tell me, I want to sign up for this. I collect their credit card, I get them set up, I tell them they're going to get their welcome packet, and we're on our way. It's that simple. It really is. The structure of the inner guidance check-in is how you can ask people if you want to work together. So again, I'll recap it because it's really simple. I get on the call with them for the follow-up call. I find out if they've done the exercise. I spend some time reconnecting, that know, like, and trust. I'm not shooting straight for the punch of like, give me your credit card. I'm spending some time with them. I ask them about their experience of doing the exercise. After we've gone through that, then I start to ask them, what did you write for this portion? If I know they had just very little worries and doubts and they were really just wanting to go do that inner check-in or talk to the spouse or anything, then I'll go straight from following the pattern. What do you really want? How will us working together to help you get it? And then, oh, by the way, did any fears or doubts come up? And I address them directly. I also like to ask, what was the sign you received? So if somebody's not sure if they want to go together, I use these as little tools to help me get them to the place of yes. Sometimes I go through all 4 in order. Sometimes I start even with like, oh, hey, I have to ask, did you get any signs? Did you see anything? So what do I do when somebody says I didn't get a sign? Well, 9 times out of 10, people have signs, they just haven't paid attention. I always say, don't worry. I always get people who say they didn't have a sign. So tell me, how was your week? What did you do? What happened? And they usually will tell me something to the effect of like, oh, I had somebody who reached out to work with me that I've never talked to before. I'm like, do you think it's a sign that clients are starting to come your way as you're starting to focus on bringing more clients in? Like, oh yeah, maybe that's a sign. So I hope this was helpful. I want to also give you guys a special invitation because I'm going to give out even more. I realize that there's a chance that as you're going through the system of following up, maybe you're not super crystal clear on what your offers are or how to deliver them, because I talked about my 5 steps of sales: to connect, to listen and learn, to vision, to give that invitation. That invitation's like the meat. That's like when you know what people want, how do you help them know that you can help them with it? So I'm doing a live call on Tuesday the 17th. I hope you will join me. It's up in the little the bar up there, but it's epic@sales.com/follow-up. Nope, that's what we're doing right now. I love Periscope. It's so live. You can say anything and you can mess up and you can recorrect. So I'm a big fan of course correction. It's epic@sales.com/power3. What I'm going to share and teach on Tuesday is everything you need to craft 3 irresistible offers. I'm going to teach you why you need 3, how to deliver them on a call so that your clients actually think you like literally just thought up the offer while you were talking with them and made it especially for them. And then of course, I'll show you how to close. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I hope you go back and listen and learn and watch and share and just receive a lot. And I hope you're having a wonderful day. So go off and enjoy yourself. Mwah! Bye-bye.